Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. Now we'll start off today with our 2-inch brush and some yellow ochre, and a touch of our red. Mix them all together on the brush. Maybe to that we'll add some white. And I'm going to come right here into the center. And I want to just drop in a beautiful glow. And I'm using these nice big overlapping X's to do that. It blends the color pretty well. You see that? Maybe we'll have some trees here. And those trees will really stand out good against this light. Don't go too crazy with the yellow. We'll stay right about here, and then we can start changing color as we go out. So bring in a little bit of this yellow ochre to the mix, a little more, and give it a beautiful golden cast. Beautiful color. There we go. Now let's strengthen those red clouds. So for that, I'm going to pick up a filbert brush, go right through some red, and maybe a little touch of brown and yellow ochre. Let's just see what we get here. Mix them all together, kind of like this. It just lightens it up a little. Wipe the brush on the paper towel. And there we go. Just strengthen the clouds. So I'm using what I have down, kind of giving myself an idea of where I want some clouds, and drop them right in. And I don't want to go crazy because I know I'm going to cover a lot of this area. So what's the point of painting in a lot of clouds? There we go. That's nice. And the clouds should get smaller here at the horizon, because that's what they do in nature. Now we're going to work on refining some of these shapes. So I'll take my filbert brush right through some black, brown, and red. And maybe we want to go ahead and just start right down here and create some darker shapes. Bushes and different things. Maybe we want to make it a lot darker. Maybe we want to put a little blue in it. There, see how that darkens it? Maybe we want some trees over here that go up and off. Let's put those in, just like this. We can cover them up later or change them later. I just like to kind of cover up my canvas as soon as I can, and then go back and work at refining the details. That's one little tip that might help. See if you like doing it that way. You can do it other ways too. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I leave the canvas white down here in the foreground for a long, long time. So it just depends on your mood, whatever you're trying to paint, and how you want to paint it. There we go. Okay, let's work on some more things here in the foreground. Not the foreground, but a little closer. Maybe we want some blue, white, red. That'll make a purple. So you want to add the red slowly until you have about the right color. And I just want a soft blue-gray, a little bit of purple in it. You'll get the gray from the dirty color we had in the brush. Okay, something like that. Not too bright. See, it's kind of pretty dark. I'm going to wipe some of it out on the paper towel. There. I want to add some beautiful textures and snow areas to this tree. Okay. I think that's really going to make it come to life. We want a lot of snow details in here, so I'm just going to start by tapping. This is going to be very slow, but I just need you to tap in, maybe tap this way, whatever. And when you see me go down, I'm just reloading. Same colors, I'm not going to change them on you. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and work on some snow back here as well. Now back here is kind of shaded, but I want to be very careful. I don't like that blue so much. Let's get some more red into it. The reason I don't like it, it's fine looking, I don't like it because it's when I put yellow, because I know I'm going to need some yellow sunlit areas. And if you put yellow against blue, it's not going to work. But back here, it's fine. It's just fine because I'm not going to have any highlight back there to speak of, I don't think. Let's set that filbert brush down and load up. Well, we'll load up a 3/4 inch brush here with some yellow, maybe a little more white, yellow and white. There. Okay, load it evenly on both sides. I'm mixing up quite a bit of paint here. Now, we're going to want to kind of figure out where we think the light would kind of filter in from the background here. So maybe I'm just going to start kind of figuring out where I want my light. Maybe we'll just brush on a little bit here. Now, I like the idea of using the 3/4 inch because it's synthetic and it's pretty soft compared to the other brushes. There. So it'll layer over even better. It'll layer over some beautiful, beautiful highlights. There. You can brush over them multiple times to smooth the area out. Nice. You're going to have to be very careful. So when you reload, you're going to have to kind of wipe it on the palette if you pick up some paint, which you probably will. So just be careful about that. See, I'm just making this up. I'm kind of guessing where I think, I'm going to wipe off my brush, guessing where I think the light would sort of filter through. Maybe just a bit back here, but not much. There. Next, we'll load up our little 3/4 inch brush with some brown, black, and red. Maybe just the tiniest touch of blue. And I'm going to change the angle here just a bit. I want to have some sort of a little cliff right here, so I'm going to drop that right in. Maybe this is a big pile of rocks that's kind of sticking out from the snow. We can do that. It's pretty easy. And I'm going to work back like this as well over here. A little darker, pure black over here. You just shape all these beautiful rocks. There's a lot of rocks in here. There's one. And you may just end up leaving these black. Most of that can be left black. Maybe a couple of them get highlight, but maybe not. We'll see. Dark. There. Very dark. We've got some details we want to put in, but let's work on the snow just for a minute longer. Yellow and white, and just putting more paint in that same old pile. Let's go ahead and I did scoop up quite a bit there on the end. Let's go ahead and just layer on some snow to these rocks. There, a lot of paint. I know, let me show you again. I know I don't normally use a lot of paint, but you have to in order to cover up the dark and for it to be pure. I mean, you could cover up the dark, but it wouldn't be pure if you didn't have a lot of paint. So that's important. I don't want you to struggle with this, so don't worry about putting on a lot of paint. You can do it this time. Now I'll pick up a clean 3/4 inch brush and go right through our yellow and white we have right here. Maybe a touch of this, looks like orange, a little bit of yellow, red. All right, that's a little too much yellow, so let me wipe my brush. A little more red. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, let's try this out, see if we like it. A little more white. Let's just put it on the canvas and then we'll decide. I like it. This is going to be the color for our water. Now, obviously, the whole thing's not going to be this color. I'm just got to start somewhere. So, put it in like this, right up to the water there. The water's edge, right up to the water's edge. Take a little bit of that color, pull it right down. That's how you make a great reflection. And maybe, let's see, we've got to figure out where we want our tree reflections in this water. So maybe we want to lighten it. Put a little white in with it and just lighten it up as you go back here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and work on some leaves up here. So I'm going to tap my fan brush this time right through some black, brown, this time some blue and red. Actually, I guess we always use blue and red. And I'm going to tap my brush and break the bristles open. Not a lot of paint in there. And I'm going to make some beautiful, beautiful little evergreen branches. I'm going to go very carefully because I don't want very many. If you want a lot more, you can do it faster. There, but it's always easy to add a couple more, but you're not going to have much luck taking them off this, over this light sky. They're just so dark. So kind of keep that in mind as you're painting, but you can have more if you want. I just want it pretty sparse right there, and then maybe over here, just for composition reason, let's fill them in a little thicker, because in your painting, you're going to want the corners a little darker, something to kind of keep your eye in toward the middle. There. Now, let's go ahead and pick up our liner brush and just thin some paint down right here. I just add a little paint thinner to the same old color we've been using, this nice light purple. And right in here, we're going to go ahead and create beautiful, beautiful little frosty bushes and things. These are actually, I'm painting the snow first. I'm going to paint the actual branches later, which may seem a little different, but I just think that's what I want to do right now. Don't worry about going through your tree. You can repair it if you need to, or not. Whatever. There. Okay, so we've got these little bushes in there for now. And I'm going to just pick up some black. Not as thick. I'm sorry, not as thin. A little thicker. And then, watch. You can put in the branches underneath. There. If your paint starts to dry out, add a little more thinner to it. As you saw, mine was starting to dry out. There. There, you see that? So you got your little sticks and branches and things. There. Okay, and so while we got this going, a little more thinner to it. You see, I'm just working out of this black pile now. You can add on some, let's go this direction. You can add on some beautiful evergreen branches like this. They stick way out. There. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and also my brush line. And thanks for watching.